there, I'm Jamie New, the founder of Smartest You, and in this video you're going to learn how to get your songs on the radio without any money, using my example of the first time I ever tried to do it myself a few years ago that turned out wildly successful. When you're done watching this, comment and let all of us know what you think, and make sure you check out the description of this video to download your free artist management startup kit, which comes with 10 free templates and guides. So back in January of 2015, I tried for the very first time to get one of my management clients' new singles on commercial top 40 radio by myself with $0. I had no idea what I was doing, but long story short, within 3 days, we had our first radio ad, and within a couple months, the single ended up reaching the top 10 to 15 on multiple charts, including Billboard AC, Billboard Top 40, Mediabase, Shazam, and iTunes. 9 months later, after the song had already charted, the artist did end up hiring a promoter to help tip it up a little bit, and the song subsequently went certified platinum a year and a half later. As of today, July 2018, that song has over 2.5 million streams on Spotify. The remix of it has over 5.5 million streams, and all her songs combined have over 40 million streams on Spotify. So let me back it up and paint the picture for you a little bit. At the time we released that song, this artist was not signed to a label. We did not have the money to pay a radio promoter. She wasn't signed to a large, well-known management company. I was managing her independently and was still a relatively new manager at the time with no idea how to get songs on the radio. She had 0 songs on the radio previously. It was her first ever release as a solo artist. The duo she was in beforehand was not on the radio, and she had maybe performed a live show or 2 as a solo artist. Basically, all odds were stacked against her for getting her music on the radio, and not just on the radio, but top 40 radio. Now, it may have been luck, and it may have been timing, and it may have been a few other things, but what I think it really comes down to is the fact that it was a great song, great production, with a great beat, a great voice, and it fit the radio format perfectly, but also sounded different than everything else at the time. Now, that happened to be the one and only time I've ever done radio promotion by myself. Every other artist I've worked with who is a commercial radio artist, we either had a record label or an independent radio promoter doing it. So through all my personal experiences doing it by myself and with teams, I'm going to share with you how you can try to do the same and get your first radio ad. And if you don't know what a radio ad means, it means they've added your single to rotation, as opposed to a feature where they just feature the song once and then consider if they want to add it or not. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's easy to get your songs on the radio. I'm also not saying you don't need a label or extra promotion to get you on the radio. This process is significantly easier and more efficient if you have money or a label or a radio promoter. But that's not what this video is about, so let's talk about how to do it when you have no money, no label, and no promoter, but you do have a little bit of time. Okay, so the first step is to have an ear for radio hits. This video, or even the concept of getting your music on the radio, is not meant for you if you do not have great songs and great radio songs. I've talked before about making sure that the artist writes a radio hit, but I want to clarify that. And I bet half the people watching this will be like, what the fuck, Jamie? That's terrible advice. I write what I want to write, and I ain't writing specifically for radio. But what I really want you to take away with you is, whether you're the artist or the manager, whether you've written the song specifically for radio or you're just naturally a hit maker, is that you must be so sure that your song is a radio hit, because you're not going to get your song on the radio if it's not a radio song or if it doesn't fit into a radio format. There are about 18 in the US formats and 7 formats in Canada. Technically, formats are just genres, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Either way, study artists and songs that are on the radio, that are on the stations you want to be on, that are within your format, analyze their writing skills, and figure out what's getting them on the radio. I'm sure you can tell the difference between songs on an artist's album that end up on the radio and songs that don't. Some songs are meant for radio and some aren't. If you are the artist, see how you can write in your own authentic way, but still connect with the masses and have hooks and beats like the radio does. If you're the manager, just learn to have a good ear and be able to pick out a radio song when you hear one. And if neither of you can do this, maybe radio is not for you, which is fine. Moving on to step number 2 is to develop your list of format-specific stations. There's a few ways you can find these stations in bulk. For one, you can start by Googling the major broadcasters like iHeart, Rogers, Bell Media, Harvard Broadcasting, etc. Check their websites for the radio stations that they own that fit your format. If you don't know who the broadcasters are, then Google US radio broadcasters or whatever country you're in. Another tip for finding stations in the US and Canada is to head to DMDS, also known as Yangaroo. Listen carefully. Yangaroo is a radio distribution platform, not a promoter, that emails your singles to your selected formats in bulk. They don't give you the station's contacts, they just mass send your single to the stations you want them to. However, they do tell you the names of the stations within each format. You can simply pay them to send out your song for you for a couple $100, but like I said, this video is about doing it with no money. So what I want you to do is go to their pricing page, which lists out all the formats. Next to each format, you're going to click on the list of stations within that format and get to work searching for those stations' websites and save them in your database yourself. I've linked to their pricing page in the description of this video, so check that out when you're done listening. Step number 3, once you've narrowed down your list to the ones that you think might fit your format, then you're going to need to check those websites of those stations to make sure your song really fits with what they're playing. Sometimes DMDS doesn't get it entirely right, but that's because it's just a system and it's not a real physical ear. All radio station websites have a list of the songs they're playing real time, so go read those lists, listen to the songs, and analyze whether your song fits with your own ears. After that, step number 4 is to find the contact information for their stations and their music directors. In your Excel sheet, add the location of the station, the address, the phone number for reception, and the names and emails of the music directors and program directors. If you can't find the music or program directors' emails, then call reception and ask if you can have the music director's email because you'd like to submit a song. 99% of the time, they'll happily give it to you. Step number 5 is to reach out. You can do this either via email or phone call. I'd personally rather aim for email. If you do call, maybe just call and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'd love to email you my song, is that okay? Either way, in your email, you're going to want to include the link to your song, the link to your artist EPK, and the artist's most noteworthy points. Bonus tip for Canadians, if you're submitting a Canadian song to Canadian radio, tell them it's CanCon, aka Canadian content. And for the subject line, include the artist's name, the song name, and the hometown. Pro tip, track the links you send them with a URL tracker like Bitly or Smart URL to see how many people are opening your links. Pro tip number 2, add the dates you've contacted them into your database and the dates they respond and the dates they add your single. You'll thank me later for keeping track of these things. Step number 5 is to wait it out and gain some thick skin. And yes, this is a real and important step, so listen up because I'm trying to manage your expectations. First of all, the director has to take the time to listen, and most of them probably won't listen after your first email. Then they have to like the song and see it fitting in. Then they have to take it into their weekly music meeting. Then the entire team has to like it. Then there has to be room on the playlist, and if 50 other major label artists have just released new singles, you're screwed. Then you have to wait for them to respond and tell you if they're adding it or featuring it. And then let's say you're lucky enough to get an ad or a feature. Hopefully their listeners like it, Shazam it, and request it. And on the note of thick skin, music directors aren't scared to tell the manager or artist or whoever is sending the single to radio if the song sucks or if it's not a good fit. So be prepared to take criticism and do not fight back. It's their opinion over yours. Step number 6 is to follow up and continue to build the relationships with stations directors and on-air staff. Ideally, you're only following up when you have something new to tell them, like a new radio ad on another station. But if you just want to check in to see if they've listened to it, then I would say contact them a couple of weeks later after your first email. Additionally, it's always important to get to know people in general. If you have the opportunity, get to know the station directors because they are the ones that can make or break your career. As for the ones that actually do add your music, forever treat them like family. Stay in touch with them, and when you're out at music functions, try to meet them and build genuine relationships. And not just radio, but every kind of music industry person possible because your contacts are your biggest asset next to your talent. So in summary, none of this is possible unless you truly have an amazing song that fits on radio. So make sure you have an ear for that, know your formats, find the station music directors, build relationships, send them your song, wait for their feedback, and keep trying. If you like this video, comment with your thoughts. Remember to check the description for the links I talked about and the free downloads. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe buttons, And please share it with your music friends, and thank you very much for watching.